Alright, I've needed to rant about this for a while. Avid sucks with this one particular thing that I just don't understand why it works this way. It's so annoying. Luckily, I figured out what the problem is, but it took me forever to realize what it was, and it popped up in multiple situations. Okay, so basically, I need to get this footage right here in the Avid media files bin, and I have this ALE to link it into Avid, right? So what do? I grab the ALE and I'll drag it into this bin, which usually works. But I get a pop-up. It says cannot import this shot log because it's 1080 and you are not in a 1080 project. What? First of all of the footage here is 1080. So what are you talking about? Second, because it's a log? What does log have to do with anything? What just happened? Like, log should not affect what it is. Okay, but maybe I switch it to 4K. Maybe I just kind of I just forgot what I'm working with and I accidentally switched it by accident. So let me go into Avid Composer. I'm going to go to Preferences and I'll look. It says I'm in 1080p. What are you talking about, Avid? I'm in 1080 and you're rejecting a file because it's not 1080? Or you say the project's not 1080? Like, that makes no sense. So basically, what I realize is that if you have any color space that's like remotely like advanced or anything like Aces, Avid just like switches its brain off and like doesn't know what to do. So I have to undo the Aces color, and now I can import that log shot. So now if I go here, oh, actually, before I do that, because I'm pretty sure it does it this other way as well. Okay, right now I'm Rec 709, right? To Sony log, right? This is my color space. So now if I drag it in, what? Did I just have a stroke? Hello? There we go. The same fucking message appears. The same message appears. Cannot import the shot log because it's 1080p and you're not in a 1080p project. What the heck? So now if I go back, so clearly it wasn't the Aces, right? Clearly it wasn't the Sony log. So I have to switch it to Rec 709. Why? I don't fucking know. Then I go into Finder. Then I can import the ALE. And then it does it normally. Then it's like, oh, it removes its stupid pills, and then it like does what it needs to do. So now I can find those shots and right click, then I can relink, manage media, do this thing, all available drives, blah blah blah, any video format. Also, the fact that I can't preset this is insane because I always have to change things and like pay attention to what's actually being selected. But I think that should be good. There we go. And then now we have our shots that are linked. Okay, so now in order to get it colored again, I have to go back into the project settings, go back into preferences, go back to Rec 709, and then change it back to Sony log. And then, right click this, display color space, Rec 709. And then now we're back. And then now Avid is like, we're good to go. Jesus Christ. So, okay, so we're in Sony log, right? But, let's say I'm not a fan of Sony log. I want to do an Aces workflow, right? So if I switched over to Aces, which, to my understanding, I might be wrong. It's a complicated thing. Aces might be, more advanced than, I think. But it should just be a color space thing, right? So if I go over here and I switch to Aces, RGB Aces, you'll notice the whole menu got switched again to like some other mode, right? And now if I go down here and I try to switch the quality to draft quality, it just disappears. It like there's an option that shows up there, and then when I hit draft quality, it changes to draft quality for a microsecond and then switches back. Why? Why does the color space affect the codec quality that's in the viewer? I have no idea. But that is so annoying because now my computer can basically only run full quality float. And that's it. It can only run full quality. Like, what are we doing here? This makes no sense. This makes absolutely no sense to me. Why does a color space affect the monitor viewing system? Beats me. Last thing that annoys the shit out of me is that you notice how I kept alluding that the menu keeps changing. Notice that here there's no mask margins. But when I switch the color space, to anything else that's not Aces, this mask margins appears. So basically, if, I have an aspect ratio that's not 1080, let's say it's 239, very widescreen, I can put the mask margins with this But if I'm using aces, the mask margins disappear. The mask margin menu disappears, so I can't like visualize the 239 unless I import some random like PNG file with a transparency that has black bars on it. But that's just so clunky. This is future Juan from about 30 minutes into the future. I've already calmed down, but I forgot this one thing to mention. So I'm trying to import a shot, right? And the resolutions that Avid gives me is DNxHR444 or any of these other like max res codecs, which is just not what I want. It's still a 1080p project. I don't understand, but I don't feel like doing it. But if I switch it from aces back to anything else, then I'm able to import like LBSQ, like lower quality codecs. But because it's an aces, I guess it's an HDR project or something, so it doesn't let me use small codecs. It just baffles me. I still don't know what the purpose is. Avid is filled with these things, and most of them you just gotta like learn through like just doing it, and you just like get a sense of like, oh, I know why Avid Media Files has to store it in this particular way. Like you can't have the footage anywhere; it has to be in like this particular like MXF folder bin thing, and it kind of makes sense, after a while. But this, I have found zero use case. I don't even have an inkling as to why it works that way. And it's just so annoying. And the fact that it took me so long to figure out what was wrong, like, I swear to God, the first time this happened to me, it took me like a full day to realize like what is happening, why it can't import like an ALE, why it can't go into draft quality, and I just realized it's just all the same problem. But yeah, that's just kind of the rants that I needed to put out there, because it just happened to me again, and it's been in the works. I needed to get this off my chest.